Namaste. When one thinks about handlooms, it is impossible not to think about India. They make up an integral and beautiful part of our history, our culture, and our economy, so it only makes sense to have a day dedicated to celebrating the importance of handlooms. National Handloom Day is celebrated on the date that the Swadeshi movement was first launched in 1905, a major part of the Indian independence movement. The purpose of the Handloom Day is to acknowledge the socio-economic contribution of the handloom industry in India and promote the vibrant indigenous crafts of our nation. Together, we can celebrate this integral and important piece of our culture and preserve its art for the days to come. We have a lot of events planned for today. Talks, a quiz, a film, and our traditional fashion show, so I'm not going to keep you waiting any longer. First, we have an address from Vasvi ma'am. Hailing from Banaras, Vasvi Bharatram's love for textiles comes from being surrounded by the most beautiful textiles from a very young age. Her family was one of the early contributors to the rich heritage of Banarasi saris and fabrics. The best master craftsmen were employed and nurtured by them, and their creations hang in the premier museums of the country. Vasvi ma'am has compiled a handicraft and handloom directory called Women Artisans, the Growth Drivers of the Creative Economy. She remains passionate about textiles, crafts, culture, and restoration.
Namaste, my dear students and Shri educators. I hope that you are all doing well. Pride in our heritage is one of Shri Ram School's core values, so it is very befitting today that we are celebrating our country's rich handloom and textile tradition in this assembly. So what is a handloom? A handloom is any fabric that is made by hand using a tool or a loom made out of wood without the use of any electric power. Handlooms have played a great role in our freedom struggle in the form of khadi and are also playing a very important role in our economy as they employ the second largest number of people and also employ a lot of women. Just like every region of our country has its own food, its own festivals, its own traditions, in the very same way, they also have their own fabrics, their own weaves, their own dyes. Some of the most famous handlooms that you may have heard of are the ikkats from Orissa, Patan patolas from Gujarat, kalamkaris from Andhra, and brocades from Banaras. Indian weavers are very, very skilled and deserve our respect. Due to the change in fashions and also with COVID, these weavers need our help and support in the form of buying their products and creating market linkages for them. This is important not just to sustain the weavers, but also to encourage and preserve this beautiful art that is such an important part of our history and culture. Thank you. Take care and stay safe.
Thank you so much for those words, ma'am. Next, we have an address from Radhika ma'am. Her association with the crafts and handlooms of India started when she was a young girl. While growing up, her parents made sure that they were exposed to the rich heritage of India. Through traveling within India and with many visits to cottage industries, state emporiums, and craft museums, they got exposed to the rich architecture, music, dance, food, textiles, and handicrafts of India. Through these experiences, her love for our rich heritage grew. Seeing her mother wear only handloom saris, subconsciously she was being trained, and her knowledge and love of textiles started growing. Saris have always been her favorite piece of garment. Her love for handlooms and crafts became a passion when 15 years ago, she started volunteering at the Delhi Crafts Council and got the opportunity to work with the artisans of our country, who to her are the unsung heroes of India. She has been the secretary of the Delhi Crafts Council for 4 years, heading many projects, and now she is the treasurer. She feels passionately and strongly about our heritage. Her role is to help the artisans innovate craft skills in a contemporary environment while maintaining the traditional technique and in the revival of languishing crafts, hence providing sustainable livelihood to the artisans.
Namaste. I'm delighted and thrilled to see that we are celebrating Handloom Day today. For me, this day signifies an opportunity to recognize our artisans who are carrying forward the rich heritage of handloom against all odds with grace and dignity. They are the real custodian of our rich textile heritage. I've had the opportunity to work in this sector for almost 15 years, and it has opened up my mind and, more importantly, my heart to the richness of the craft sector. My work as a volunteer working with artisans has taught me to be humble while having pride in my work, empathy, compassion, and the joy of working for people. My association with the handloom and handicrafts of India has given me a deep understanding of the skill that goes into creating these masterpieces. I think the craft sector in India is not appreciated for its true worth and its contribution towards the economy and in providing sustainable opportunities for a very large number of fellow countrywomen and men. Creating a piece of handloom is a laborious process. The chain starts with growing cotton, to spinning it into yarn, to dyeing of the yarn, and finally to weaving. While all this is happening, the artisan is busy conceptualizing the design in his mind. No computer is used, just a vision of what the artisan wants the textile to look like. All this requires creativity and intense labor, which is hand done and may take many months to produce. I will list some quick facts for you to give you a better understanding of handloom. Number 1. Handloom means made by hand on a loom that does not use any electricity and is worked on manually. Number 2. The handloom and handicraft sector is the second largest employer in India after agriculture. Number 3. It is also the largest employer of women in our country. Almost 50% of artisans are women. Number 4. Sadly, it is a sector that is mostly unrecognized and unsupported. Most artisans in India live without the most basic amenities like education and healthcare facilities. Number 5. It is the only sector that fulfills 11 out of 17 sustainability goals laid out by the UN. Number 6. Our founder, Manju Ma'am, was the General Secretary of Delhi Crafts Council for many years, and her contribution to craft sector was invaluable. Number 7. The Angavastra that the graduating class gets is hand woven, not machine woven, which all of you will get when you graduate from TSRS. Number 8. The sari I'm wearing is a khadi sari. Khadi, derived from khaddar, is a hand-spun and hand-woven natural fiber. Gandhiji used to only wear khadi. Number 9. Handloom is environmentally friendly because it consumes very little energy in its making. It can be done in rural areas where livelihood opportunities are scarce. Handloom fabric is biodegradable, unlike man-made synthetic fiber. So today, as we celebrate Handloom Day, can we please take a pledge to treat our craftsmen with dignity because they are the real custodian of this traditional knowledge. More importantly, take pride in wearing Indian handmade fabrics. Maybe take up a project to support the artisans who have been badly hit during the pandemic. As the next generation, I wish for you to support and promote handmade in India. Take pride in our rich heritage of handlooms and help by making sure this craftsmanship and skill doesn't die. Happy Handloom Day today and always. Namaste and thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Radhika ma'am. Now we have a presentation from ma'am.
Namaskar everyone and a very happy National Handloom Day. As you know, today is all about celebrating the rich weaves of India which are timeless, elegant and colourful. Each year, we see a great variety of quizzes from those in SheTech to SheKhoj, this year's Tabu quiz to the GK quiz and so many more. So, we decided to introduce an all-new unique edition, the National Handloom Quiz, in the hopes that each member of the She community is enriched and takes back at least one learning about our traditional artistry from this assembly. After all, pride in one's heritage is a core pillar for every Ramite. And what better way to honor this momentous day than by spreading knowledge through a fun and interactive quiz. As Mark Twain once said, India is the cradle of the human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the great-grandmother of tradition. In keeping with that spirit, it gives us great joy to present to you National Handloom Day Quiz.
Namaskar everyone and welcome to the National Handloom Quiz, which we are having in celebration of National Handloom Day on the 7th of August, and the first National Handloom Day took place in 2015. Now I call upon each of the teams to introduce themselves. First, Team Hathkarga. Yes, you may introduce yourselves, guys.
Hi, I'm Manya.
Hi, I'm Nandita.
I'm Vedant Khosla.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Looking forward to the quiz. Rangai Chapai, Team Rangai Chapai.
Hi, I'm Riya.
Hi, I'm Khushi.
Hi, I'm Bhushita.
Okay. Then we have Team Silai Bunai.
Hi, I'm Mahika. Hi, I'm Tanisha.
Hi, I'm Alya.
Okay. Thank you. And lastly, we have Team Sui Dhaga.
Hi, I'm Kay.
Hi, I'm Leela.
Hi, I'm Nandini.
I now invite our scorekeeper for the day, Vidur Khosla, to brief the participants through the rules. Vidur?
Namaste everyone. So this quiz will have 3 rounds. The first will be a question answer round where participants will be given 30 seconds to answer each question. Each question holds 5 marks and the questions can be passed on to the next person for 1 mark only. This round will have a total of 6 questions. The second will be a multiple choice round where participants will be given 30 seconds to answer each question. Each question once again holds 5 marks and the questions cannot be passed during this round. This round once again will have a total of 6 questions. The third round will be a visual round where each team will be given 30 seconds to answer each question. Each question once again holds 5 marks and the questions cannot be passed during this round. This round will have a total of 4 questions. After all 3 rounds, there will be one special question worth 10 marks.
So without further ado, let's move on to round 1. Okay, my first question is for Hathkarga. What material is officially used to make the Indian flag? You have 30 seconds starting now.
Manya, the flag was adopted in 1947. So, yeah. Mahatma Gandhi had used khadi only, so I'm pretty sure it was khadi.
Yeah, even I think it's Khadi.
Is that your final answer?
That'll be our final answer.
Okay. That is the correct answer. Congratulations. The next question will be for Team Rangai Chapai. If Pochampalli saris are from Andhra Pradesh, where are Bomkai saris from? You have 30 seconds.
I think I've heard this one before. I think it is
from Odisha, if I'm not wrong. What do you think, Khushi, Riya?
I think you're right. I think it's Odisha, I guess.
Yeah, because the work on it is like from there.
Yeah, it's from that area. Yeah, we're gonna go with Odisha.
Yeah.
That's your final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations. The answer is Odisha. Well done. Now we have a question for Silai Bunai. Kasavu garments are worn by dancers dancing the Mohiniyattam. Which state is the Kasavu associated with? You have 30 seconds.
Guys, I think it's Kerala. I'm not sure, but I think it's Kerala. What do you guys think?
Even I think it's Kerala.
Alright, so we'll go with Kerala.
Your final answer is Kerala?
Yes.
Okay. That is also correct. It looks like all the teams are doing really well on this round. Well done. Then we have Team Sui Dhaga. Which state/union territory weaves carpets inspired by the Mahayana Buddhism, of which the dragon motif is quite common? You have 30 seconds.
What do you guys think?
It'll be somewhere in the east.
Sure. Yeah. Nandini?
I don't know.
Is it like Sikkim or like Ladakh or something? Sikkim. Buddhism is in Sikkim. It's also in Ladakh. Alright. Which one do you want to go with? Sikkim or Ladakh? It says Union Territory specifically. They haven't said that for like any other question. Oh, yeah, that's true. So maybe Ladakh then?
Okay. That is correct. Ladakh is the right answer. Well done. Our next question is for Hathkarga. Gar Chola is the garment worn by people of 2 states in India. You guys can name any one state.
I think it looks really
Rajasthan.
Yeah, I've been to Bikaner. It's Rajasthan. I don't know the second one.
right?
It's Rajasthan for sure. Yeah.
Rajasthan.
I don't know the second one.
We only need to name one.
Yeah, we only.
Oh, okay, yeah. Rajasthan's our final answer.
Okay. That is also correct. Rajasthan and Gujarat are the 2 states. Moving on, we have Team Rangai Chapai. Primarily made of red and black wool, these shawls are woven by several tribes in northeastern states of India, having their own distinct patterns representing individual tribes. Name the state associated with this product. You guys have 30 seconds.
I think this is like, I'm not sure at all, but this seems like Nagaland or something.
Even I think of that. Khushi, what do you think?
It's a northeastern state, and this kind of pattern I've only heard of it in Nagaland. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your final answer, guys?
Yeah, I think
Yes,
so.
I think yeah.
Okay, let's see. Yes, that is the correct answer. Well done. It is Nagaland.
With that, we come to the end of the first round, and the scores are as follows. So, Team Hathkarga has 10 points, Team Sui Dhaga has 5 points, Team Rangai Chapai has 10 points, and Team Silai Bunai has 5 points.
Now we have round 2, which is the multiple choice round. And again, each question is worth 5 marks. If someone doesn't get the question correct, it passes on. And you have 30 seconds to answer these questions. So the first question goes to Team Silai Bunai. What material is zari made from? A. Pure silver and silk. B. Pure silver and cotton. C. Pure silk and cotton. And D. Pure cotton and gold. You have 30 seconds.
Guys, what do you think?
I know Zari has gold.
Yeah.
So
I think it is silver too. I think it's gold and silver.
That's not really an option.
Yeah, that's true.
Should we go with the pure cotton and gold then? Even I'm not sure about this one.
So it has one of either. It has either silver or gold. So it could either be silver and silk, or I think it should be silver and silk. But
Your time is up, guys. I'll need a final answer now.
Do you guys want to go for pure cotton and gold?
Yeah, fine. All right.
Okay, is that your final answer, guys? Pure cotton and gold? Option D? Okay. Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. It's pure silk, silver and silk. Okay. Now, the next question goes to Team Sui Dhaga. Jamawar shawls consist of a special weaving technique that traveled from Persia to our country over 500 years ago. Which state/union territory do these shawls hail from? A. Puducherry, B. Jammu and Kashmir, C. Manipur, and D. Chandigarh.
I think Jammu and Kashmir.
Even I think Jammu and Kashmir is like from Persia, right?
And also this picture, it looks
That's also true.
yeah.
I think it'd be Jammu and Kashmir as well. I don't think Manipur or Chandigarh for sure.
Yeah, I also don't think Puducherry.
Puducherry, so right, those colonizers. So I think Jammu and Kashmir as well.
Yeah.
Leela, what do you think?
Jammu and Kashmir.
Then we'd go for B, Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay, that's your final answer, guys. B. Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, let's see. That is the correct answer. Well done, Team Sui Dhaga. Next up, we have once again Team Hath Karga. Brides of which state wear the Mekhla Sador, a woven two-piece sari-like garment? Option A, Assam, B, Tripura, C, Nagaland, and D, Bihar.
Okay, I think I know this one. I think it's Assam.
Yeah, even I.
Yeah.
That's your final answer, guys?
Let's ask Nandika. Nandika,
Yeah, I don't think it's Nagaland for sure.
Nagaland or Bihar, that for sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about Tripura, but I think it's from Assam.
My first instinct was Assam. So.
Yeah, Manya, you fine with Assam?
Yeah, I think let's go with Assam.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
our final answer.
So I'm going to take Assam as your final answer.
Yeah.
And yes, the answer is correct. Assam is where the Mekhla Sador is from. Next up, we have Rangai Chapai. Your question is Ikat saris are high quality silk saris containing 3 colors and shades. What simple designs do they contain? Option A, alphabetical designs, B, numerical designs, C, geometrical designs, or D, none of the above.
Geometrical design. Yeah, geometrical designs because it cannot be
from the picture.
Yeah. Bhushita, what do you think?
Yeah, I think geometric, definitely.
That's your final answer, guys?
Yeah.
Are you sure? That was quite quick. Do you want a few more seconds?
sure.
Okay. Yes, geometrical designs is the correct answer. Well done, Rangai Chapai. We now have Team Silai Bunai. Your question is quite interesting. According to legend, the complex weaving technique of this particular sari originated in China and was brought to India by 3 Chinese brothers. Which sari is this? 1. Moirang Phi. I'm so sorry. Moirang Phi, Tangail, Tanchui, or Dhanai Khali. You have 30 seconds.
Guys, what do you think? This is a confusing one.
So I don't think it's the Murang Phi or the Thanai Ki.
I think it's the third one.
Yeah, Tancho, even I think that.
Alright.
Okay.
Maybe we'll just.
You're going with Tanchui then. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I won't say good guess, but well done, guys. Tanchui is the correct answer. And in fact, the name Tanchui comes from Teen Choi, not teen as in teen, but teen as in 3 in Hindi. And it literally means the 3 Choi brothers. Our next question goes to team Sui Dhaga. Okay. These are hunting scenes depicted in certain Banarasi saris. What are such Banarasi saris called? A. Shikargha Banarasi saris. B. Buttidar Banarasi saris. C. Kadiyal Banarasi saris. Or D. Meenakari Banarasi saris.
I mean shikar.
Yeah, because shikar is to hunt, right? That's what I thought as well. I thought it would be really weird,
Yeah,
but
that's the meaning of shikar.
Even I think shikar. Alright, so
Okay.
shikar.
Your answer is A. Shikargha Banarasi saris. Okay. Good use of logic, team Hatkarga. That is the correct answer.
With that, we come to the end of this round. Before we move into the last round, here's a quick update on what the scores are. So Team Hatkargha has 15 points. Team Sui Dhaga has 15 points. Team Rangai Chapai also has 15 points. And Team Silai Bunai has 10 points.
Next up, we'll have Team Rangai Chapai again. And that is for round 3. This is a visual round. Once again, I'll just recap for all of you. You have 30 seconds to answer each question. Each question is worth 5 points, and you cannot pass on any questions in this round. So without further ado, Team Rangai Chapai, your question is, which is the traditional clothing worn by men, women, and children of Kashmir? It is a long cloak or robe worn mainly in winter, as it helps to keep the body warm. You have 30 seconds.
Expert. I think this is Firan because I've worn this for myself, so I'm pretty
Firan,
sure
yeah.
it's
And we trust you, so it's Firan.
Yeah, we trust
Okay.
you. People.
Is Firan your final answer?
Yeah.
Good job, Team Rangai Chapai. Firan is the correct answer. Moving on. Now, next up, we have Team Silai Bunai. And your question is, this is a picture of a Jansim worn by women in the Garo Khasi Jaintia Hills. Which state does this garment originate from? Team Silai Bunai, you have 30 seconds.
I think it's Meghalaya.
Yeah,
I think so too.
it's Meghalaya.
Okay, so that was quick. I take Meghalaya as your final answer then. And let's see. Yes, Meghalaya is the correct answer. Well done, Team Silai Bunai. Next up, Sui Dhaga, you guys are next. And your question is, this is a legendary sari woven in Bengal. Such a sari usually depicts scenes from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Name the sari.
Now, what do you guys
I
think?
don't think it's Banarsi.
I don't think it's Banarsi because it's not from Banaras.
Yeah.
I think it would be Baluchari because that was yeah.
Are you sure?
I think it's in the list Leela sent us.
Okay, alright. So, Baluchari.
Something with B.
Guys, your time is up. I'll need a final answer now.
Then it's Baluchari, right? That's what you said, Nandini?
I think so.
Yeah, something like Baluchari, something like that.
Yeah.
Something with B.
Okay, I'm taking Baluchari as your final answer. And yes, that's correct. Well done, Team Sui Dhaga. Next up, we have Team Hatkarga. Your question is, this is a picture of a woven hand towel. Give the Indian name for it or the state it is associated with. You can give either of the two.
Guys, remember when we were researching the Bihu festival, we were sure a question would come from it. I think that's from that.
Yeah, I think so.
Bihu Wan from Assam. No, they were asking the Indian name for it.
Is it?
What was the Indian name? Something with G.
Is it Angavastra?
It was something with G. Gamocha,
not sure.
Gamacha, something like that. Gamcha, I don't know.
You guys can answer either or, so or both if you know both. Either the Indian name or the state.
So it's from Assam, and Oh, we just need to give one. Yeah, then I think I'll go from Assam because I don't know the Indian name for Behuan.
Okay, so that is the correct answer, and in fact, you are right. It is the Gamocha from Assam.
Oh, okay.
Now we come to the most exciting part of the quiz, the much-awaited special question. This is the sort of make or break of your scores. So you guys should really try and get this one correct. It's an interesting question. And the way this will work is each of you, after you've read the question and think you have the answer, will put the full stop in the chat. Whoever puts it first will be recognized. If members of the same team put consecutive full stops, then I will be recognizing the next full stop from another team.
So before we have the special question, here's a quick update on the scores, which are actually showing up to be very interesting at this point. 3 teams are currently tied for first place, all with 20 points. Team Hatkargha, Sui Dhaga and Rangai Chapai. In second place, there's Team Silai Bunai with 15 points. But if they get this question correctly, they may just end up winning the event with 25 points.
Now we'll be moving on with the special question. And the special question is, why is 7th August celebrated as National Handloom Day? Okay, I see Mahika Shrivastava.
Yeah, so on 7th August in 1905, the Swadeshi movement was done, and that's when they were boycotting all the foreign goods and they started using khadi and all the goods that were being produced in India itself. And that's why we celebrate it on 7th August, because we started using the products which were being produced in India itself.
Okay, that's your final answer then?
Yes, it's because of the Swadeshi movement, which was on 7th August 1905, and then on 7th August 2015, that's when it all began.
Okay.
By PM Narendra Modi.
That is the correct answer. Congratulations, Mahika. You just won your team 10 points. I'm very impressed with the level of research you guys have done. I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't have gotten as many questions as you did correct. So congratulations to all the teams on that account. And I know all of you are eagerly waiting for the results. So without further ado, let me request all of you to put your cameras on while I announce the results. Okay, and the results are as follows. In second place, with 3 teams in second place, all tied at 20 points, we have, one second. In second place, with 3 teams all tied for that position, we have Hatkargha, Sui Dhaga and Rangai Chapai. Congratulations, you guys each received 20 points. So very well done. You should give yourselves a pat on the back for that. And in first position, I think obviously we know who it is. We have Silai Bunai. You guys are the winners with 25 points. Great job done. And I think this is a great way to celebrate the creativity and the cultural richness of our country. So congratulations to all the teams.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, we come to the end of the National Handloom Day quiz. A big thank you to all the participants for putting in their best and genuinely doing so well. And a thank you to our scorekeeper for today, Vidur Khosla, for keeping a tab on all the results.
The pride in one's own heritage is an important core value of our school, and the Shri community has come together to celebrate this core value through National Handloom Day. We'd like to thank each and every single one of our participants for putting in so much time and effort towards this event. The event was incredibly engaging and interesting, and if you were keeping scores, you would actually know that up until the very last round, 3 teams were tied with the exact same number of points, and that one special question right at the end for 10 points meant that the last team, the 4th team, ended up winning the event. So it was very competitive, which just goes to show the passion each and every single one of you had for this. I'd now like to invite your head of activities, Aditya Mehta, to say a few words.
We hope you enjoyed that quiz. The Shriram School has a strong tradition of celebrating and supporting the rich arts and crafts traditions of India. The most important of these is the craft of weaving. Weaving is also considered as one of the most ancient of skills, coming down from spiders weaving webs representing the universe, sun rays and light to gods weaving our threads of life. With that said, here's a short film created by Rati ma'am and Vaibhav sir on how the art of handloom weaving has been incorporated as an essential and compulsory part of our school art curriculum.
Approximately 25 years ago, it was felt that an art education cannot be considered complete without the students having some sort of textile experience. So when this thought was put up to the management, our patron, Manju ma'am, immediately helped us. She made available to us 2 handlooms which were actually being discarded by the blind school in Delhi. So one very exciting day, a truck arrived with many wooden parts. At the same time, a young boy had applied for a job to the school. He had just graduated from the Jodhpur Institute of Textiles. Ma'am hired him, and we are very proud to say that Vaibhav sir, 22 years down the line, still with us. In this much time, not only did we set up 2 handlooms, but we also set up a jacquard room. Since many years, our elective art students have been weaving magnificent rugs, and we offer a complete experience. They spin the yarn, dye it in the chemistry lab, design on graph paper, and then they finally weave it. Please have a look at the fruits of these looms since over the years. Namaskar.
That was a lovely film. Thank you once again to Rati ma'am and Vaibhav sir for creating that informative and personal film. We've reached the last event of the day, our fashion show. We thought that there's no better way to boast the rich tradition of India than for our very own teachers to showcase the artisan's handiwork. With no further ado, I present to you Weaves of India, our very own Shri Fashion Show. Thank you to all the teachers involved, to all of you who model the Indian clothes, to the participants of the quiz, creators of the film, and of course the Vasvi ma'am and Radhika ma'am. We hope you enjoyed this assembly. There is no better way to cap off a production on the tradition of India than with the national anthem. So I'm going to request you, wherever you are, to please rise to the national anthem.